This is Widget Mart, case study number 25. Like many companies based in the United States, Widget Mart is a complex company that has experienced changes in the last 50 years. Widget Mart is actually 3 different stores. Not only are there 3 types of stores, Widget Mart is located in the US, Canada, Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands. Widget Mart has experienced tremendous growth. They began with 1 store in 1956. They now have over 5,000. They've continued to grow. As their company grew, so did the amount of information inputted into their operations and training manuals, with little effort to remove outdated or unneeded information. Widget Mart has updated their technology, and they are ready for an electronic performance support system, better known as EPSS. A team was created to design the EPSS system. Each member of the team brings to the table a set of expert skills in different areas. Davey's our team leader. We've given them a design model based on the work of Frank Lin out of San Diego State. Our model begins with performance analysis, and according to our source, a thorough analysis of the environment has been performed. They identified training and operation procedures varied store to store. Managers couldn't agree on best practices, and training consisted of a sit-with-Fred type of training. Widget Mart went to a uniform system of operations and training that didn't consider all the differences within regions and stores. Both manuals are organized differently within the same out-of-date operating system, and computers aren't located convenient to the users. The current system doesn't respond to human intervention. We also feel that performance analysis needs to be conducted in the areas of motivation, incentive, and skills knowledge. They also did not mention performance analysis being conducted at Universal Widgets or Bimar, only at Widget Mart. These other stores' needs need to be considered in the analysis phase. The other consideration I mentioned was location. Widget Mart has stores in these 4 countries with varying regional, political, and cultural needs. Once performance analysis is complete, our model moves us to training needs. The team will sort the training manual, the operation manual, and all the computerized text files through subject matter analysis and task analysis. The team will sort this information through subject matter analysis and task analysis, looking at best practices, data, and other information regarding Widget Mart operations in every area. Which brings us to the next step in our model, qualitative and quantitative analysis. Qualitative being more descriptive and lending itself more to investigation at the beginning of the analysis, when our team's not going to be sure what they have, and quantitative being more about their numbers and coming at the end of their analysis when they know what they're looking for. But it's not always that discrete. The instruments the team will use will sometimes have features of both. The team will include differences and similarities in store type, take into account considerations and factors of location. Their instruments will include surveys, observation, and interviews. Once their data is complete, analysis and interpretation of the data begins. The team will then sort into the 5 categories. Applications with embedded knowledge, which will negate the need for the learner or the employee to learn or review information. A reference function, which operates as a repository of knowledge. A job aid function that prints out worksheets and job aids as needed. A computer-based instruction helping employees internalize information. And discard items. For example, job aids that they wouldn't see employees using anymore, out-of-date government regulations, items that cause unnecessary steps. And at this point, the team should be ready for the design phase. The purpose of the design phase is to specify the desired outcomes and to check that the outcomes will satisfy the company needs. A push-pull relationship begins between design and development as designers continually fine-tune their prototypes based on feedback from sample groups. Beginning with the desired outcomes, the designers move through a sequence of determining assessments, mapping out the content, and then selecting the best types of media tools to achieve the company goals. In the planning stages, a wide sampling of stakeholders is brought into the design process. Each represents expertise and a relevant skill or experience in a specific division of the company. Development means producing the actual products. Storyboards and scripts are authored, software is programmed, and media is made ready for testing. Initial alpha tests indicate success or failure in meeting the outcomes, and the products are reworked and refined as extensive feedback is gathered before implementation can take place. At this point, the designers address specific outcomes desired by the company in each of the 4 basic function areas, beginning with the software applications which can contain embedded knowledge. Next is a company repository of information which can be easily accessed at any time. Creating task-specific job aids is the designer's next challenge as the company seeks efficiency and consistency throughout their network of stores. Equally important is a system of computer-based instruction for all employees, further ensuring company-wide consistency. And then we move to implementation and evaluation. In order for the WidgetMart EPSS to be successfully implemented, trainers must consider a few important variables. First, trainers must consider the organization's readiness to incorporate an EPSS successfully by assessing the current environment and determining the desired environment. This can be done by performing a learning needs assessment where information is collected through interviews, focus groups, and surveys to better understand any gaps that may affect ideal performance before implementation. The results from the learning needs assessment will enable trainers to construct a better understanding of the readiness of the organization and build a business case for effective implementation of the EPSS. Once learning readiness has been established, trainers can work on developing employee buy-in. This can be done by educating employees about the benefits of the EPSS and how it will help them work more efficiently to meet important business objectives. In addition, communication about the EPSS must be timely, straightforward, and relevant to each employee. It is also important to give employees adequate time for change. According to Stone and Belleccia, 2003, people require time to accept new products, adopt new innovations, address their concerns about them, and commit to the change. Jaffe and Scott's organizational transition model shows that people tend to resist and deny change at first. However, over time, initial resistance turns into commitment and exploration if the proper support is provided. In order for support to be effective, it must be ongoing, convenient, relevant, and reliable to those seeking it. In other words, if an employee takes the time to request assistance, everything must be done to make their experience as easy as possible. Evaluation will be done. In order to adequately evaluate the effectiveness of the EPSS and potential pitfalls, the Kirkpatrick model can be used. First, employee reactions should be collected through surveys, questionnaires, or focus groups. Next, employee learning should be collected through pre- and post-training assessments to identify if the desired skills have been learned by use of the EPSS. Supervisor observation can assess changes in employee behavior to ensure that the learned skills are being put into action. Finally, results can be assessed by evaluating how the implementation of the EPSS affects the company's return on investment. This evaluation process is vital in identifying whether or not the EPSS is helping the company fulfill its overall mission, vision, and values. If the ROI is not positive, the company can continue to analyze the barriers to optimal performance and address them as necessary.